Yeah, so the last time apparently that I streamed would be back in the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. So if you want to go back on YouTube and look at those playthroughs, I have some long plays of a few Sonic games from that marathon. Go ahead. But today, okay, so Mr. Kotfu is clowning on me in Discord right now about some misspellings. Let's get to the point. Welcome everyone to the stream, no matter where you came from. Today we are talking about the announcement of the SEGA Saturn 27th anniversary game competition. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch into that. My God. Mr. Kotfu is pointing out each and every one of these misspellings on the page. They will be fixed after the stream tonight. The point is that, as is tradition, every year on September 1st, I announce the annual SEGA Saturn Homebrew Game Competition. The rules are essentially the same as last year. We have two categories: original games and hacks, patches, and translations. So I need to stop getting distracted by Discord. I keep getting a whole bunch of messages concerning, obviously, the competition. So the contest thread is up. If you go ahead and go under emeraldnova.com and you go under community and you just scroll down to the competitions, you'll see the 27th anniversary competition there. If you click on this contest thread, this is where you will be entering any video games that you may be generating, patching, translating, etc., etc. Here, as long as you provide instructions on how to retrieve the ISO or the bin-queue pair, your entry will be considered valid if it is submitted before January 1st at 12 p.m. UTC. Okay. So the difference this year, scoring system is the same. Oh yeah. Yeah, Shane, it's been a minute. Thanks for getting back up on Twitch Prime. I love getting Jeff Bezos' money. I think, I thought because I was absent for a little bit too long, they would have got rid of the counter there, the streak. Yeah, but yeah, 27 months straight. Thank you. So we're keeping the scoring system same. Golf rules. Lowest score is considered the winner, and your ranking is based off of first is best, last is worst. Whoever this year, as is last year, we will be getting the winners 3D printed devices, courtesy of That's It Guys, which is run through Millennium Chain. So you guys can thank Millennium Chain for printing out all the prize winners this year. Difference being that original games, the top 7 entries will be receiving cash prizes along with 3D prints, and the top 3 entries on hacks, patches, and translations will also be receiving cash prizes. So that's up from last year, where I believe the top 3 original games got cash prizes, and the top 1 hacks, patches, and translations got a cash prize, and then a few more people got some 3D prints based off of that. I might be misremembering. But this year, because of the expanded prize pool, we are getting more top prizes, and I kind of try to get the attendance from last year. We had 15 entries in original games and 6 entries in hacks, patches. I wanted to do half and half, so the top 50% from last year would have gotten prizes if the competition were to happen this year. And I'm anticipating more entries this year, so it's not going to be quite the top 50%, but we'll see what happens. Now, as for the prize pool, as I said, it's open to donations once I fix some of the spelling mistakes here. And these donations have already started coming in. Obviously, I'm putting in my own skin in the game. Jason Fischetti has been generous enough to donate $300. Unfortunately, PayPal takes its cut, because that's just how these, there's only so many ways you can get money to one place on the internet. And I am trying to take into account shipping costs, as last year they were a little bit exorbitant. Essentially, last year's, it was like $5 per person domestically, but then any international ones was a lot more depending on where they were. So I'm just trying to make room for 10 prizes worth of shipping, because they're going to get 3D prints, obviously a cash prize, and a little letter from me. If you want to donate and make your name part of this cash prize pool to be immortalized on emeraldnova.com and potentially, I guess, the Sega Extreme forums, go ahead and press that donate button. Give what you want to give to help encourage Saturn Homebrew. And of course, as long as you're not a judge, you are free to enter this competition with whatever you've made this year. Now, if you are a long-term developer like XL2 or me or Seven Shades or whatever, and you have a game that you've been working on for multiple years, as long as you've been doing some significant contribution to that game this year, it still counts. Go ahead and enter it. Now, the judges, as last year, we will have judges independently rating these games and playing them on their own hardware. Last year, unfortunately, the SEGA Southern gentleman could not participate because he got too busy, and this year he has, at the very little minimum, gone on hiatus, potentially retired from the Saturn scene. So we have recruited a new judge. So let's just go through these in order. We have, again, Cervero, as last year. I recommend everyone go in and read their bios, but Cervero is an active contributor to the Sega Extreme forums and Discord. Same with David Jimenez. The new judge this year is Jason Steele, who you may know as Film Cal. If you don't know who Film Cal is, go check him out on YouTube. You can find his link right here on the judges page. He streams Sega Saturn games quite frequently, actually, and I'm very excited to have him on the judges panel this year. I was surprised how quickly he said yes to me. I didn't even have to bribe him or anything. Again, Genovi, another YouTuber who does video game documentaries, reviews, etc., etc. Johannes Fetz of Joe Engine fame, so he's the guy that makes a lot of these homebrew entries possible. You will likely, if you are starting out, be using his software, so he will, of course, be judging as he did last year. Pandemonium, again, does another YouTuber who focuses on Saturn content, very high-quality videos. I recommend you check any one of these guys that I have listed on here makes quality content, and that is why I put them on here. Because they are active contributors to the community, and I want to highly recommend that you give each and every one of these guys a chance. At least check out some old streams, some videos, or what have you. Moving on, Saturn Dave, as part of Sega Saturn Shiro, along with Trainoco. I've had the good fortune to be able to get a little bit closer with the Shiro guys this year, and potentially be hanging out pretty soon. So I just want to encourage everyone to go check out the Shiro Show. I make frequent appearances there. I'm a patron for them. So if you're interested in supporting an active Saturn-based news and gameplay podcast, go ahead and give them a view. They stream every Friday afternoon. Sega Lord X, again, Saturn fan, collector, YouTuber, does good quality content and reviews based off of Sega and mostly Saturn games. Trainoco, the other half of the Shiro Show podcast, also judging this year as he did last year. So the Supreme Court of Saturn is finally filled out with 9 full judges. When you submit your games on the 1st, they will have essentially 2 full weekends to judge the games and come back with rankings and scores. I will tabulate them and make the announcement on January 14th, Friday stream, to play through all the entries in reverse order of ranking. So go ahead, get started on your homebrew entries, even if it is your first time, even if you're just making a Snake clone or a Tetris clone. Just go ahead and give it a shot. You can go click on Johannes's link, and it'll take you right to the Joe Engine page, and that's a great place to get started. All right. With that said, today I was going to try and keep it a short stream since it's already late for my time. I'm going to try polishing up a model viewer designed for XL2's Z-Tream format. So if you're familiar with XL2's work on Hellslave or Sonic Z-Tream, he has a convenient pipeline from Blender to object file to Ztp file to be displayed inside the Saturn. So I've already pretty well covered, I think, through various streams how that process works. Currently, Xenos Interactive does that a lot. And actually, let me go ahead and undeafen so I can put him on stream. Hey, Xenos, are you there? Xenos?
I'm here. I just needed to mute the stream, or we would have gotten audio doubling. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's. I think that's why you were fully green. Yeah, you have to. You should be wearing like headphones or something. I don't know. Anyway, so Zenos is here. He's semi-familiar with the ZTP format, or at least he should be, considering he's been exporting all the models since like last December or so. So today I'm just gonna maybe spend a little bit of time, maybe like an hour or so, just cleaning up the model viewer so that we can. Oh, AM25. Oh, okay. Thanks for the follow. I thought I've seen you on the stream already. I didn't know you were just following now. Retrospectors, thank you for the follow. Are people just filing in right now? Did they miss the announcement? Oh, you guys can just rewind it later and go watch it on YouTube. But basically, just go on emeraldnova.com and go check out the announcement page for the 27th anniversary competition. Everyone should try to give an entry. You never know what you're going to get rated. Okay, so they may not be able to legally drink, but they can legally program, and that's good enough. I mean, unless the FBI is going to get on me for mailing them cash prizes, I don't know.
You need to drink to be able to enter Saturn programming. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I've managed to stay sober this whole time, but I can see where that sentiment would come up, and I can't necessarily deny it. Oh yeah, definitely. Having to play through, last year was 21 different games, and 6 of those games were like, well, not 6, I think it was like 4 or 5, were actually like full translation patches of retail games. So these are non-trivial size games for the most part. For the original games, you can usually get through them in a few minutes. That's generally the case. But yeah, there's a reason I'm giving them 2 weeks to judge these things, because it takes some time, and a lot of them, the YouTube themed guys, they end up doing their own videos on the competition entries based off of their reactions and their ratings and stuff like that. So it's really great that we have people helping to promote the Saturn homebrew scene on basically all ends, just the Sega Extreme community in general. What, Pona, you have like an alcohol allergy or something? Or are you saying you're just like a severe alcoholic? I can't tell what you're saying. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know how many times I can mention like illicit substances on the YouTube archive before like YouTube starts yelling at me for demonetization. I know they have their AI going after the bad guys from World War II and certain viruses and stuff like that anytime you bring up a mention of it. So anyway, Ztp Model Viewer. Obviously, if you're using XL2's export tool, he has the OpenGL-based preview. But that does not necessarily show you what the Saturn shows you. So let's go ahead, if my shortcuts are the same as I remember. There we go. Just do a quick compile and run.
What's a new? Is that a kind of mole?
A new what?
Ona just said they dropped mules in World War II. Is that a kind of mole?
I don't know, but what do you mean by news? I'm saying on YouTube, if you start mentioning the bad guys from World War II, they will start demonetizing you.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you can mention the Japanese, and you might be able to get away with mentioning the Italians, but I mean, after that, it starts getting iffy. Jeez, Pona, come on. You know what? If I'm going to recommend something on that, I would recommend the video from Knowing Better, who is a pretty great, video essayist on YouTube. And he goes over the common arguments for why, we shouldn't have done that, and it was such a terrible thing to do. But given the information at the time and the results and the battle doctrine of the Japanese Army and Navy, it made a perfect amount of sense, even in hindsight. No, but unironically, people still argue about that. I know this left tuber, I think it was Sean or something, the guy that does no video production, and it's just a picture of a skull for literally 2.5 hours. Just cherry picking random sources from really specific historians saying, oh, we could have gotten away with not doing that, and then attempting a land invasion on freaking Japan or something like that. Or maybe they just would have surrendered if we just not did anything. I don't know. I tried following his argument for like half an hour, and it didn't make any sense to me.
Maybe we should stay on topic.
It's going to be hard to stay on topic for the next hour or 2 hours because I'm literally just going to be playing with inputs and changing different flags.
Well, then maybe let's choose a different topic, a less political one.
Okay, fine. I mean, there has to be a half-life on politics, though. Like we're talking about something from 80 years ago.
I don't think there's a half-life on that yet, because yeah.
How about the Crusades? That's not controversial.
Yeah, exactly. It's always controversial.
Yeah. So Xenos, you want to talk about the textures on this island? You're getting complimented on it.
They're licensed, air quote. So they're not okay. They're licensed, but you won't find them looking like that. They're from the Humble bundles, but they're heavily edited. So I think the sand texture and the grass and the rock texture are from 2 different people, and the water margin is also from a different person. So I just threw together a bunch of licensed textures and made them fit for use in a terrain model like this. Like, I made all the transitions and then I just threw them on there, and that's where we're currently at. I can still see that I rotated some of these textures.
Well, it's not that you rotated, it's that I have an auto rotation code to make everything kind of align, assuming that a lot of these textures are supposed to be the same. So what you're going to have to do is you're just got to repeat these textures and just do rotations on the actual texture level and store a few redundant textures. But that will solve the problem and allow me to retain.
No. You don't see what I mean. It's that I know that there's the algorithm, and the algorithm is like working 90% of the time. So I think it's just that I used I used some wrong textures, and if I find like the correct ones, it'll work again. So I think that's just a me problem. I used the northeast texture when I should have used the southwest texture, and all the other textures there are southwest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So for the most part, all these textures are correct. Obviously, this little island here is scrambled. It's kind of hard to screw up just plain gray, and the runway looks perfect. So,
Yeah.
And then let me see if I can switch over to the... Oh, okay. So there's a duplication button that I don't want to do. Oh, boy. But there should be a next... Where's the next... Wait, how many things are loaded up in here? Oh, that's why. There's only one. There we go. Let's load up the second one.
Do I have a newer ZTP?
So this is working out of the Blue Skies folder that should be shared at the moment. So whatever this is, this should be current.
Well, do you have a finished asset ZTP folder?
I have not moved anything in from there yet. But if you have anything, if there's anything in there as of an hour ago that you want me to move in, I can do that now.
Let me check if I'm not sure. Let me check if I have.
So, Pona,
something.
I personally think a mesh paper doll kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, I am planning on packaging this for general use so that people can more easily get their head around the whatchamacallit, the Saturn or the ZTP file extractor format.
Yeah, yeah, it's there. You should probably check out Building 16 ZTP and Island 16 ZTP.
Okay, so finished assets, 3D, ZTP, and then what am I taking out of here?
Building 16 and Island 16, so always the highest number for building an island.
Okay. And I'll just rename them as I get back. So, Island 16, Building 16.
My Blender file has these numbers too, so it's Island 16 blend and then building and Island 16 ZTP. So I don't get confused as to which one is the most recent build.
Okay. But I noticed that the case sensitivity isn't quite there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far I'm going to get tonight because honestly, it's already kind of late and I started my day pretty early. So I might just end up doing multi. Oh boy, something broke. Okay, let's see which one of these things broke it. So Island 16 is not loading.
Interesting.
Could it be the name is too long?
That could, I don't know, that could be.
So yeah, just to clear it up, yeah, I'll try to put maybe I'll print out the controls on the bottom right of the screen because that's probably a good idea to put it. Opponent, if you could, do you happen to know the ASCII for up, down, left, and right arrows? Yeah. So, oh my, this is butchered. What happened here?
No, it's fine. The holes are intentional.
Okay. All right. Let's see what's that little island thing is gone.
Yeah, that'll be back. That's in the building file for now.
Okay. And then some of these rotation problems are still there, so that needs to be addressed. But
yeah, I haven't fixed them, so it's just the same build. I put some holes in there because the building file is in the building file there's stuff that covers that up.
oh, what is going on? Windows is trying to put my thing everywhere except where I want it. There we go. I believe the dog is making noises.
Well, you're a fool to argue with Windows. Windows knows what's best for you.
So the thing is, if I'm gonna print it, like what is in the actual set of symbols for the Saturn's default whatchamacallit. Crap, I totally forgot what I'm talking about. So the Saturn has some default font built into it in the BIOS, I'm guessing. Are those symbols actually going to be included there? How many symbols are included in that set? Oh. Yeah, okay. Carrots work. Forgot that I need to. Okay, so unfortunately we cannot have lyrics in the stream because it will screw me up. Are you guys hearing the dog in the background? Because he's making some noises.
Is he howling at the moon?
He's just barking, but like I don't know if anyone can hear that. I know NVIDIA is pretty good about filtering stuff out. I don't know if it can filter out dog though.
I can't hear him.
Okay, well. Why isn't the cycle cycling? I don't know why it does this. When I open up the settings, it automatically starts remapping. And then when I close the settings, it does the remap again, despite me having finished the remap. Did I turn off the cycle controls for the model? The duplication controls are still there. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so A and X do that, and then entity ID should be incremented by 1. So what gives? Num files should immediately enter into maximum entity ID. Yeah, so here's the draw command. So it should go through here. Oh, thanks, Bona. Okay. So confirming that NVIDIA voice knows the difference between humans and dogs, which is pretty impressive. It's freaking magic. So we know that there are 2 files being loaded in num files, and B should... Is Building 16 another version of the island?
No, not.
Are you sure you didn't make some sort of mistake there?
I could have made a mistake, but I can. Shouldn't be. I think I checked that in the preview thingy.
Okay, let's find the print statement. And print out entity ID.
Well, just load a building first to see what it is. If I made a mistake, we'll see.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Then I'll have to go back and fix it, and then I'm gonna be confused again as to why that happened.
Okay, so either my button mapping is not working. Up, down, left, right. Start. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Shoulder, shoulder. And then I have to do it again because the freaking thing doesn't know how to... Okay. I can do a second, which means A and X are working. C and Z are working. Left trigger, right trigger working. D-pad working. Now, if I press B, nothing's working. So, Joe key B, entity ID plus equal 1. If I press Y, it should go back down to a minimum of 0. But, okay, maybe oh, dang it. Okay, so maybe I'm incrementing entity ID, but it's just not keeping because it's ignoring it for some reason. Hmm. So num files is equal to 2, so it should go from 0 to 1. Num rendered is less than num object. Okay. According to this thing, it looks like it should be drawing everything already. Okay, let's go down to that print statement. Okay, quads, verts. Print line is 0. Print line gets incremented here.
You still have to recruit somebody to sing a cover of Fly High for blue skies.
Hey, Ponut, real quick. SL print integer. Is that a thing? Or maybe I can just do quick and dirty wave. Yeah. Let me just do a shift for what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's call that 8. Oh, I gotta rename all these files. I ripped the Saturn Sonic 3D Blast soundtrack and I didn't rename the files, so they won't show up correctly on the little marquee on the bottom of the screen there. Entity ID. Here's the thing. So, Entity ID is being incremented by input, but it's also being controlled here? Oh, wait. Nope, no, that's right. So what is going on? Well, let's see if it rapidly shifts between 0 and 1. Oh, I should shift this. I guess I could do a Joe printf, but at this point, I just need to see what's going on. Actually, I'm showing a frame rate at some point, right? So entity is stuck at 0, and it is not moving. Hey, you know what? I bet that somehow this is not being updated correctly. I don't know. So entity ID should be... Yeah, I think I specifically added in this loop just so everything would be displayed at once. So this should be working. That is a good question. Maybe it isn't. But it looks like it is. Because by the time it gets here, it should get file name index 1 and be assigned index 1. And it's... just weird. Yeah, entity from entity ID. Right there. This is odd. And this is just a pointer to a property of the entity, which should be indexed at entity ID. Oh, and here's the little vertex permutation rotation to reorient everything. So then why is this line not somehow working? So maybe if let's undo this. Let's put that back in. Comment this out. Why isn't that Oh, okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now I can filter, or I can go back and forth. Hey, you know what? Xenos.
Yes. I'm
Building
here.
has 962 quads. The island has 580 quads.
Why does it have 962? Where does it have that?
So, just doing some quick maths. We're over 1500.
Pona just said those are the words.
Oh, okay. Well, the same issue then. So, we can't do more than 1500 verts. We don't have the work area for it.
Yeah, look at the quads again.
Well, it's not just quads. We need quads and verts. Hold on, I'm pretty sure that last time I looked at this, it crapped out under around 1500. It might be 1550 or something.
Pona says work area can do 1800.
I know. I'm responding to that right now. That's what I'm talking about. So now this is weird. Okay.
480 quads, 650 quads. So that's. I never knew that there was a vert count limit.
Well, yeah, there's a vert limit. So just as a sanity check, let me.
I didn't know the Saturn did verts. I just thought it just did.
How else would it draw without verts? It needs to place. It needs points. Okay, do you have like a smaller version of the island or something?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's see how many different things we can put in here. Let's take away the island and put in... Oh, we have all the building blocks from scenario. So let's try doing that. So, as written here, it should cycle through everything and draw it at 0 coordinate. So let's just see if that approach is correct. Let's keep the building, and instead of the island, we're going to do door. Scenario door.
Well, it's the first time I heard words were a thing to count for. We always talked about faces.
They're both required. I mean, I don't know how you expect to draw a polygon without vertices.
Well, that's I understand that, but it's the first time I heard I had to count the words. So, so 1,500 words. Okay.
Okay, let's reverse the order. I'm having trouble actually seeing it. Okay, there's the door. Thing is, the travel speed is so fast that it's hard to actually tell what's going on. But it is not attempting to draw the rest of the island. So there is something wrong with the draw command itself. So I start with entity ID equal to 0. That's an assignment. I do a comparison with the total number of files. Total number of files should be, in this point, 2. So that means it should be able to increment to entity ID 1. And this increment should happen here. Now.
Yeah, I'm reading right now. I got 1,614 words and 1,162 faces.
Yeah, so we're having a separate problem where we cannot draw multiple things that we should be able to draw. So what I don't understand is, okay, I'm doing the draw command. Is it because I'm so there's something here where I am whatchamacallit, instantiating certain variables inside the loop. So let me do this, and then I'll do plus equal. Oh, wait. Is this a problem? Let's get rid of this while loop. We're only going to do one of each object. And now that we're not resetting print line every loop, okay, now we're drawing multiple things. So something weird with the interaction between those two loops was the issue. I don't know why, but we don't need this loop anymore because we're not using number rendered anymore. So number rendered, the iterator can go away, and then that's correct. That's correct. Num object. Oops. Oh yeah, we can get rid of that. Oh, thanks for the follow. Owl Andrews? Owl Andrews, is that supposed to be like two separate things, or is that is supposed to be like pushed together, a Landrews. Every time I get a new follow, I always end up getting curious about how I'm actually supposed to pronounce it or whatever. But anyway, thanks. Welcome to the stream. Right now, we're working on a 3D model viewer to be working inside of the Sega Saturn. So when you export a file from Blender through XL2's Ztp file converter, you get to preview what the whole thing should look like. And actually, now that we're at this point, we can go ahead and replace the door back with the island. And I think the print statement can exit the loop. Or no, we don't want that. But let us go back to, instead of door, what was it? Is isle16.ztp, I believe. And then everything should be visible at once. And there is another note I would like to bring up, Xenos, is that I could continue to struggle with the camera issue, and eventually I do need to solve that problem. But in the meantime, I want you to take note of how the camera is moving right now. Oh wow, this is actually kind of slow. It looks like you're a little bit off on, or maybe I forced the coordinates off. I don't know. Are you still live?
Yeah, I'm still on. I shouldn't be off. Let me just see.
Let me see if the displacement.
No, they share the same origin.
Okay, so the grid displacement needs to. I just need to get rid of the grid displacement because I'm not doing multiples anymore. So that was it. That was me doing grid displacement.
I was thinking as well.
So anyway, let me actually like get back in the engine and control things so I can show you what I mean. Yeah, then before I could even see him call it, Ponut's right. It was my displacement operator thing. Because before this was a stress test for to see how many of the same object you could put on the Saturn, but now the way we're doing things, we're just every time we want a new object, we're gonna load a new ZTP anyway. So there, this is what the model looks like. I mean, for the most part, works. Minimal clipping issue. Well, okay, so there's a little bit more than minimal.
There's severe clipping issues. A lot of things that should show up don't show up at all. Like there should be a lot of buildings there, and the lavender fields aren't showing. So if you know what's there, it's
Is that this thing over here?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, well, they're overlapping with grass, so
they should be above the grass.
So I would like to note at this point, with no real physics happening, we are at 30 frames per second, with a total vert count of 1542 and a quad count of 1138. So, okay, so Ponut has a good idea, so let's implement it.
Yeah, the XL2 said that too. Sort of map. He wanted to do min-max on that stuff.
In the loading code, I know there's... Here's a sort. Right? So we have sort min, sort max, sort center. So let me do this. If entity ID equal 0... The first thing that we load in, we will... Oops. Oh, what's with the... No lyrics. The playlist should know the rules by now. Okay, well that's better than nothing. Else. Okay, anyway, so we have sort max, right? For the island. That's the first thing we load in. And then I want to do sort min for everything else. So let's do sort max on island and see if that helps. But I think there's just going to continue to be issues just based on the fact that the quads on the island are so much bigger than the buildings. Oh no, do you think center is going to be better than min on this case? Oh, I need to turn off... The video puts this no DC thing on the top of the thing, and I need to get rid of that. Yeah. This looks better, obviously. Xenos?
Yes, you can see stuff. Go slow.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but I can see most stuff. Even the lower parts of the buildings.
Little details like this guy, this little boat here or whatever. I mean, this would be the first thing to go if I wanted to cull something, because I don't think you're ever actually going to see something this close.
Yeah, the big sail is missing.
Oh.
I deleted that. I deleted that at some point.
Oh, okay. Well, with the sail, it would actually be visible. But I mean, by the time you get this close, you're already committing a terrorist attack.
It's a wholesome game. There's no terrorist attacks.
Okay, but the thing is,
I mean, there's planes and skyscrapers, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So the thing is, I need to implement some form of collision detection, and I don't know if you can cheaply do collision based off verts.
Is the texture displaying correctly on? I think on most of that, I don't know what it's called. The electric mast, most textures are displayed correctly.
Yeah. Also, the wind turbines are missing.
Yes, that's on purpose, because I'm making those separate objects so you can rotate them and have them have a texture that's dual-sided. They're not supposed to have rotors.
So I guess I could do if I have the fixed hard points for them, I could pop them up in various places. Oh yeah. Oh, opponent, don't worry about me. I have clearance. They've already looked into me. The NSA already has all the blackmail material they'll ever need on me.
It's not a joke right now, right?
No, not really. No, I have a clearance, so you know. You know what? I think these airplanes would work better as flat textures as opposed to full-on models, and it'll give you a lot of savings here, because I don't think the plane is ever good. If the plane is close enough to actually see the height on these other planes, we're already in trouble. Because look at this. It's pretty severe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to get this close to the island, so keep that in mind. I think a lot of these details can be crunched down if you want to add more details elsewhere.
I like how that the buildings are working nicely and that you can see the contour of the terrain.
Like this, you might need to subdivide the walls on these two guys. Like double up on the quads here to avoid something like that. You see what's going on with those two buildings?
Yeah, but
like if you flatten these planes if you flatten these planes into textures, you can fix that and still save quads. Because right now you have maybe another 300 quads to work with.
The island is finished. I don't need any more quads. Oh right, I need for the other sprites, for the balloons and such.
Well, the balloons you'll do as flat textures for the most part, and then any rings you want to fly through, those would probably be pretty high in quad count, like 20 to 30 per. And I don't know how many we're gonna display at once.
You should at least see the next ring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, We can afford more than 2, but I don't know if we can afford the entire path worth with level of detail on this island. So,
Well,
I mean, it's. I was planning on being a very short stream tonight. I don't know if this is what you wanted me to fix with the model viewer. If
yeah, it
there's a.
is. And
Okay,
for the most part, the sorting issues are solved now.
for the most
I
part, yeah.
mean, it's
I,
not really doing anything, and the walls on that on the hangars, as if you're gonna see that.
okay, so let me just go down to the print statement and just make it useful by taking it out of the loop and extracting the useless elements of it. So you need a quad count and a vert count. So Pona, we can go ahead and try to give an actual number for these things. So let's actually be useful here. So if this is on 23, we're gonna need 23 plus 5, 6, 7. So line 30. And on 31, we can do. So what's the total number of vertices you're allowed to have is 1800 according to you. So I'm gonna trust that number for now.
What what's
Now,
my goal on the island in
what?
total? What's my goal on the island in total? Verts and faces.
Oh, like I said, we have a max number. I'm waiting for Pona to confirm my numbers, but I'm assuming it's 1500 quads, 1800 verts is the maximum. That, oh, whoops. Jeez, what is? There we go. That we can get away with. Now, why is this all the way on number 23?
And if it's not the correct number, we'll sue Ponat for damages. No, we won't do that. We won't do that.
6, and then 605 is 11. And we're going to start on 12. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17. $18, $19, $20. $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26. Okay. There we go. $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26. So this is on 27. And then 27 plus 5 is going to be 32, and this should be 33. And verts are limited to 18. I mean, it's whatever the default definition for work area would have been, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I'm already seeing some texturing errors I made. Let me see. Yeah, this is Rockwater 3 and it should be Rockwater 7. Like the transition is wrong. I can already see that it's not transitioning properly, and is this one transitioning? No, I think this one is correct, and the other one is wrong.
Ooh. 3, 4, okay. What do you mean you deleted the document? How do you delete a document? They're all you don't keep them all in a folder or something? There we go. So, crap. Yeah. So the thing is with Joe Engine, every time I try to edit the work area file, something bad happens. So I avoid doing that, and I just work within the restrictions Joe Engine gives me, which is something I'm comfortable with doing. What the crap? Okay, seriously, every time I hear a song, it gets on my nerves. It's always PSU. Oh wow, that's even worse. No, we're not doing that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's do shift those numbers back by what? 1, 2. Yeah, 2 spaces. 11, but then we're also going to shift it behind so that the slash gets printed on top. In fact, there we go. Well, who knows if that's going to turn out well. Yeah, actually, I need to get back in. Zena, when's the last time we actually played PSO on Blue Burst? You remember?
No. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I've been kind of busy at work, and I've had very little energy to do anything else, but... Oh, wow, that broke the crap out of that. Hey, Ray. Okay. The thing is, I want to be able to display this properly, so, Okay, so let us move quads 2 to the left, right? That's on 4. But then we print this on top. Well, we want to print this before everything. And then the last thing it goes is the slash that goes on top of that. So let's actually do a count. Start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means this should start at 6, but we have 2 blank digits, so it starts 2 before at 4. And that gives me 4 digits, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's where the slash should be inserted. But that should be on top of... this thing should start at 9, but 9 with 2 additional digits, so this should start at 7. So let's see if I actually did all that right. I forget what the justification for not using it was, but at this point, yeah. I mean, this could probably all be solved by joeprintf, and I'm probably doing this for no good reason. In fact, yeah, let's just do that. Forget all this.
I was coding as well with a lot of help from Ray, for example. I made you a menu animation with crappy code.
So I'm probably gonna end up having to do my own menu thing because it's gonna have to be able to manage game states and stuff. Joe engine. At the very minimum, it's good practice, and if it's useful, maybe I'll end up using it anyway.
It's not really a menu. It's more like a background effect. It doesn't have any menu logic. It's just
Okay, so yeah, the menu logic is the hard part of the menu. Okay, so X, Y. Okay, so let's start with 0, 0. Let me do numquads, and then 1500. See if this does what I want it to. Yeah, Ray's got a point. At this point, you have a scrolling background, but it's not a menu.
I don't care. It's pretty. Pretty is. I'm the guy who makes things pretty. You're the one who makes things move. We have that subdivision of.
There we go. Okay, so I mean that's easy to understand, right? You have 1138 quads out of 1500.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As long as that's clear. Okay, we're going back to using JoePrintf because I cannot use SL print properly. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the D is another 4, so that's 10, 11, 15. So let's give that 3 spaces. That should be 18. And we are not using entity. We are, however, using frame rate. And I think for JoePrintf, we don't have native support for fixed, so we have to use SLPrintfX. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can put this at 8. Or no, there's only gonna be 2. So there's gonna be 3 useless. So we can put this at 7. And then we're going to put that 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 2 digits is 11, 12. 2 more. 13, 14. Space is 15. Put this at 16. Okay, but if I put %d for fixed, is it actually going to show up as the number in fixed format, or is it going to pretend it's a it's an integer? Because I'm pretty sure I'm using %d for integers as is, and they're showing up as integers.
Should have been working with words with first from the beginning, because that's always what's gonna be higher.
Oh, I need to get one less on this one. Anyone recall the number of lines on the screen? Was it like 30? So bottom line 30 or something like that. Oh boy. I forgot. Probably need to clear that previous line. Let's go ahead and just print out a whole bunch of blank just to sanitize that area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20, 40. Okay, there we go.
So is it is this 1/500 words for the island or 1/500 words in total? We need air.
That's what you can put at once on the Saturn using our current work area. What is going on? Am I getting somehow like full precision? Is that what that is? Anyway, I need to move FPS to the left by 2 units.
How much buffer do we need? 100 words or 200, 150?
What are you talking about?
For everything else, like...
what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by buffer?
Like, on top of... Like, I make the island 1,400 words, and then we have 100 words for the level elements or something like that.
The total number of things that can be put in the rendering pipeline as of right now is 1,500 quads and 1,800 verts. That's why those numbers are there.
1,800 words, not 1,500.
Yeah, that's what it says on screen, right?
Okay, then we already have a buffer if I put the island below 1,500 words.
So, buffer is a loaded term. So if you're going to use that word, you have to... Don't use it the way you're using it right now, because buffer is like an actual memory object that you set up.
Yeah,
and you're just talking about how much extra room you have, and that's not what a buffer is.
I'm not a native English speaker. I mean the German word Puffer.
The thing that buffer is a term that we're going to be using in programming, right?
Okay. Eine Pufferzone is when, I don't know, a country puts another country between itself and an enemy country.
Yeah, in that context, that's the correct word. But I'm saying in the programming context, saying the word buffer means something kind of specific. So when you're talking about buffers, I'm trying to think of what kind of buffer you're talking about, because that would mean like we've allocated a certain portion of memory, and I assume you mean the total pipeline that we have for the work area. That would be like the buffer for quads and verts, and that buffer would be of the size 1,500 quads, 1,800 verts.
Yeah, but I'm assuming if I get the island below 1,500 verts, not faces, then that would be acceptable.
Well, it's right now it's acceptable, right? We're getting 30 FPS.
So it's all right now. Okay, yeah.
I mean, just look at it. We have 30 FPS with the exact number of quads and verts on screen that's being reported.
All right, then I'll just clean up the island some more, and if that's okay, then that's what we're gonna use and put in the level elements.
So, I was gonna get to this point earlier, and I just kept getting distracted by fixing stuff. But now that we have this on screen, notice how easily that we are traversing the airspace of the island right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking of this as the actual flight control scheme with no pitch, and whenever turns are performed like this, instead of rotating your frame of reference, the plane itself appears to rotate as like a rotated sprite or a different sprite in a rotation phase. And in that point, you can incorporate the little rudders or flaps or whatever that are active during the turning phase of the plane. So the plane will actually look like it's turning. So the visual appearance will be similar to that of Star Fox. Would that be okay?
Let me think, but I thought
Pono doesn't like it. What? Xenos, you're about to say something.
I got distracted by Ponot.
Okay, so Ponot doesn't like the idea. So I mean, I can continue working the problem. I just need to find some more time to work on it. It's a matter of me finding time to do stuff, and like this month in particular is busy because we're like planning the rest of the year, and that's basically my responsibility this year. But definitely I'll have time before competitions end to implement some of the more difficult to implement stuff. And I don't know if Shane is still paying attention in chat of what his plans for Extra Life are, but depending on what his plans on Extra Life are, I might end up just doing a marathon programming stream for Extra Life like I do most years.
What's with those two faces that are like triangles? That's not me breaking things.
That's what they appear
near
as.
the lavender field. What's up with that?
I don't know. It just looks like there's some specifically broken quads there. Look, you see how the texture is bunched up there. It looks like the one of the verts for that quad got crumpled into the hypotenuse there, or something like that.
Okay.
Same with this one and that one.
Let me just talk about then just let me talk about the flight controls for a bit, okay? I'm gonna just ask some questions. We on the last stream where we did the flight controls, we had roll working and yaw working. We didn't have pitch working, so we basically had.
But we did have them working simultaneously, and that's the issue.
So roll and yaw don't work simultaneously.
Not to my memory, but I can go back and double check just to make sure. If I just disable pitch controls and see what happens. But I don't remember them working at the same time. It was always independent. They work independently. I don't remember if they work at the same time.
There's limited pitch work.
As soon as you introduce one rotation, it starts screwing with the other rotations the way I have it implemented right now. And that's a problem that's going to take some time to solve.
Okay, yeah.
Which is why I was saying, if we restricted it to no local rotation, it was just a global yaw rotation, and just have the sprite track the roll and pitch, then we could have the game play with this perspective that we're having right now.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that for the for now for the contest, and I could just replace the plane sprite for now with a 3D model that you could manipulate.
Hey, out of curiosity, how many quads is that lighthouse? It's 5, right?
Nope.
How many did you use?
Let me check.
I mean, for something that size, you have a lot of high-level detail on objects too small to actually be able to notice during gameplay. That if you shave some of it off, we might actually get 60 frames.
17.
Yeah, 17 is way too many for something that tiny. Because if you look at it from here, you could literally just make a 5-quad box and texture it with that texture, or even a nicer texture, and it would turn out fine. And you'd save those quads.
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're stuck at 30, but if you wanted 60, if you shaved off some of this stuff, you can get away with it. Like the flatly textured quads here, you could make them you could make them a lot less subdivided if they're just flat, if this is how they're going to stay, because the warping will not be noticeable on a flat texture.
I didn't understand that concept.
Okay, you see how next to the runway is just solid gray?
Yeah.
If you have a lot fewer quads there, the problem with warping that you see on the runway is not going to be apparent on the solid gray because it's all one color. So you can get away with a lot fewer quads on it.
That's what you mean. Yeah, I can. Okay, I can try that as well.
But I'm just like looking for places to save quads on here, like these windmills. Unless you're going to be heavily texturing this pole here, this base, it could literally just be like 10 quads, and that would be the entire windmill, not including the turbine sprite. So like 11 quads, essentially. I don't know how many you're using right now.
Let me just check how many I'm using right now. It's... Don't do that. It's the wrong thing. Oh, God. Just let me look at this. It's 10 quads. I'm using 10 quads.
Okay, so that's actually efficient there. And then for things like this face, you could reduce the number of quads and texture it, and it would probably look more or less the same. Unless you're flying directly into the side of it like this, in which case you might be losing a little bit of detail. But yeah, like if you want to push for that 60 frame mark, there's probably a lot of savings you can get from cutting down on some stuff. I mean, this one is actually an example of too few quads, because if you get close enough, it disappears. I don't know if in-game we're actually going to get that close, but maybe it's fine as is. I don't know. Oh, okay. That's noticeable.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah,
so yeah, that one needs more subdivisions. The actual one actually needs more quads. So yeah. So there's reallocation of quads to be done to see if we can't make it underneath. I don't know how many quads and verts it takes to get 60. I imagine we're pretty close to it. I think it's like under 1,000 quads we can count on 60.
He says...
I don't think it's because sort min Ponut. I think it's because the enough of the verts go far enough off screen where it just culls. Because the sort is just to determine when it gets drawn. So if I set this to sort max, it wouldn't change the fact that it's disappearing right here because 2 of the quads are missing. They're too far off screen, so they got culled. Okay, so it doesn't sort by verts, it sorts by the actual effective sorting point. Okay, so maybe sort center would give us a little bit more distance. But the solution is still the same, subdivide.
And I can manipulate the sorting, right? When I'm testing stuff, I can just say how it's supposed to sort when I manipulate that in code.
Yeah, so during the loading sequence, number 0 is always going to be sort max, and the other one is going to be sort min. And you can change that to sort center. And is there a fourth option, Ponut? Do you remember, or is it just those three? Min, max, and center. Those are the three met. Okay, yeah. So yeah, right now it's just a difference between the first one and everything else. So everything else that you load in afterwards is going to be sorted with... Here, I'll just go in part of the code that shows it. Right...
What sort BFR sort before? It's like it sorts on top of everything else.
That's a Ponut question.
Yeah, Remy said showed me some tips.
Okay, so the sort max is going to go to the first entity loaded in which case for us is the island. Right there, island 16. And then sort min gets applied to everything else. You can change this to something else. You can add some more if-elses for specific entity IDs. If you wanted to be like entity ID 1 through 12 or something like that. To do like sort center for those guys and sort min for something else. If you wanted to modify that. I think I'm going to try packaging this code and uploading it at some point later on this week to the, whatchamacallit, the contest thread, so that people, if you want to work on 3D games and you're using the Ztp file format, can use this code to try and load it up and test things out. It also comes with the basic display code. If you want to like sort through my comments and XL2's comments, you can adapt it for your own game. And if you actually interpret how the code is working, you can actually extract vertices from the code and use that for physics and collision detection. And that was something I was going to ask you about, Ponut, is can I use just like go sort through all the entities, go through every vertice and try to find out how close I am to all those? Or is there a way I can access all the Z sort points from the Z buffer and use that for collision detection? Is that an option? Not the Z points. Okay. It's not the Z points, but really? Okay, fine. But if I can use all the vertices and just make distance from vertices, Manhattan distance, and that's probably going to slow the game down significantly, but I could probably find a way to do that intelligently without, making it too egregious. Actually, Xenos, if you chop up the island into sectors, we might actually be able to get really nice collision detection by just sorting by which sector the plane is over and then doing collision that way. I mean, I remember how fast it was when I did that tower defense game. So yeah. But yeah, if I want 60, like 60 is an optimization that can come later.
Do we want 60? I mean,
I feel for Saturn, like everyone does 30 on Saturn. I think it's fine. I know that XL2 likes to push for 60 at some points, but I don't think it's practical, especially for what he's doing. But for us, I think 30 would be fine. So I think what I'll do for collisions for the island is if you get within a certain Manhattan distance of any vertex on the island model, you'll just blow up.
Yeah, I wanted to play a short animation with like a Wilhelm scream on the plane.
I mean, but that sounds doable.
But I wanted a short video, the plane crashing into the mountainside and the guy.
Video is a different matter. Video, we're gonna have to consult with Trek Easy Night on. So I don't know if I can get him to teach me how to do that. But if anyone's ever actually implemented video on their game before, we might want to look into how to do that. Anyway, I think for now it's already been an hour and a half. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. Everyone, please give it a shot to go ahead and enter the competition, see what you can do. Oh, there's a video demo in Joe, even better. It's crappy, but crappy still works. Crappy but functional is still functional. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when the next time I'll stream is. I can't make any promises. I'm going to go ahead and try and say this Friday I'm going to be visiting Trainoco and going to SabetoCon or whatever it's called. So I'm not going to be able to do that weekend. But every second Friday, I should have some free time to do something like this. So maybe 2 Fridays from this Friday, I'll be able to stream again and continue work on my contest entry, or Xenos' contest entry, rather, for the 27th SEGA Saturn anniversary homebrew competition. So
our contest entry, Astro
Yeah, but-
Junkie, is also participating.
Okay, we're gonna put all our names on it, but you're the one that's actually getting your name on the entry, because I'm not. If I start allowing teams in the competition space for prizes, I'm gonna end up having to mail dozens of people for a handful of entries, and the shipping cost, if you actually look at the prize pool, is starting to get a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, for the purpose of the competition, pick some guy who is going to enter it, and then everyone else can share credit as part of it, as like a special mention or whatever. But please, everyone, just give it a shot. Just go play around with Joe Engine. Go to emeraldnova.com for just a quick get up to speed for just how to print stuff on screen, and from there you can look at the Joe Engine samples. And of course, I'm always available on my own Discord, which should be linked somewhere below if you're on YouTube, or hopefully also on Twitch. Go on the Sega Extreme Discord. Go on the Sega Saturn Shiro Discord. I'm all over the Saturn Discord continuum. If you just at me, you'll find me as Dr. Emerald Nova on Discord. Also on Twitter. Twitter's where I make my announcements. So please go ahead and put me on there just to get me on notifications. You can go ahead and ignore any other tweets that aren't hashtagged with some sort of game dev thing. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and say good night, everybody.
Good night.